Helvetica is a widely used sans-serif typeface developed in 1957 by Swiss typeface designer Max Miedinger with Eduard Hoffmann. History: Helvetica was developed in 1957 by Max Miedinger with Eduard Hoffmann at the Haas Schriftgießerei of Marr-1-Kortenkunstein, Switzerland. Haas set out to design a new sans-serif typeface that could compete with the successful Axedens Grotzk in the Swiss market. Originally called Ne Haas Grotzk, its design was based on Shelter Grotzk and Haas Normal Grotzk. The aim of the new design was to create a neutral typeface that had great clarity, no intrinsic meaning in its form, and could be used on a wide variety of signage. When Linotype adopted Ne Haas Grotzk, its design was reworked. After the success of Univers, Arthur Ritzel of Stempel redesigned Ne Haas Grotzk into a larger family. In 1960, the typeface's name was changed by Haas' German parent company Stempel to Helvetica in order to make it more marketable internationally. The word's origins come from a derivative of the Swiss goddess, Helvetia. She is the national personification of the Swiss Confederation, similar Britannia in the United Kingdom, Marianne in France and historically Columbia in the United States. Helvetia's figure is used on Swiss government documents and currency. CH is often used as an abbreviation for Switzerland. Characteristics: tall X height, which makes it easier to read in smaller sizes. 2-storied A. Narrow T and F. Square-looking S, bracketed top serif of 1, rounded off square tail of R, concave curved stem of 7, variants. Language variants: the Cyrillic version was designed in-house in the 1970s at D. Stempel AG, then critiqued and redesigned in 1992 under the advice of Jovica Veljovic. Matthew Carter designed the Helvetica Greek. Lebanese designer Nadine Chaham designed Ne Helvetica Arabic. Ne Helvetica Thai font designer Anuthin Wongsunkakon of Kadson D. Mac Company created Thai versions of Helvetica and Ne Helvetica fonts. The design uses loopless terminals in Thai glyphs, which had also been used by Wongsunkakon's previous design, Manep Mai. Initial release included 6 fonts in OpenType comp format for each family in 3 weights and 1 width, with complementary italics. OpenType features include fractions, glyph composition decomposition. Helvetica Light. Helvetica Light was designed by Stempel's artistic director Erich Schultz-Anker, in conjunction with Arthur Ritzel. Helvetica Compressed, designed by Matthew Carter, this is a narrow variant that is tighter than Helvetica Condensed. It shares some design elements with Helvetica Inserat, but uses a curved tail in Q, downward-pointing branch in R, and tilde bottom a pound. The family consists of Helvetica Compressed, Helvetica Extra Compressed, Helvetica Ultra Compressed fonts. Helvetica Textbook. Helvetica Textbook is an alternate design of the typeface. Some characters such as 1, 4, 6, 9, I, J, A, F, J, Q, T, U, I 1/4, and a paragraph are drawn differently from the original version. Helvetica Inserat. Helvetica Inserat is a version designed in 1957 primarily for use in the advertising industry. With metrics similar to Helvetica Black Condensed, the design gives the glyphs a more squared appearance, similar to Impact and Hatenschweiler. Strike with strokes in $, a center replaced by non-strike-through version. 4 is opened at top. Helvetica Rounded. Helvetica Rounded is a version containing rounded stroke terminators. Only bold, bold oblique, black, black oblique, bold condensed, bold outline fonts were made, with outline font not issued in digital form by Linotype. Helvetica Narrow. Helvetica Narrow is a version where its width is between Helvetica Compressed and Helvetica Condensed. However, the width is scaled in a way that is optically consistent with the widest width fonts. The font was developed when printer room space was very scarce, so it was created by mathematically squashing Helvetica to 82% of the original width, resulting in distorted letter forms and thin vertical strokes next to thicker horizontals. OpenType version was not produced by Adobe under the distortion reasoning, and recommended Helvetica Condensed instead. However, In Linotype's OpenType version of Helvetica Narrow, the distortions found in the Adobe fonts are non-existent. Ne Helvetica. Ne Helvetica is a reworking of the typeface with a more structurally unified set of heights and widths. Other changes include improved legibility, heavier punctuation marks, and increased spacing in the numbers. Ne Helvetica uses a numerical design classification scheme, like Univer's. The font family is made up of 51 fonts including 9 weights and 3 widths, and an outline font based on Helvetica 75 bold outline. Linotype distributes Ne Helvetica on CD. Ne Helvetica also comes in variants for Central European and Cyrillic text. It was developed at Distempel AG, a Linotype subsidiary. The studio manager was Wolfgang Skimpf, and his assistant was Reinhard Haus. The manager of the project was Rena copyright Kerfanti. Eric Spiekermann was the design consultant and designed the literature for the launch in 1983. Helvetica Ne is the new default font in Apple's next desktop OS, OS X Yosemite, replacing the font Lucida Grand. This change brings Apple's desktop OS into line with its mobile OS systems. Ne Helvetica W1G, it is a version with Latin extended, Greek, Cyrillic scripts support. Only OpenType CFF font format was released. The family includes the fonts from the older Ne Helvetica counterparts, except Ne Helvetica 75 bold outline. Additional OpenType features include subscript superscript. Helvetica World, also called Helvetica Linotype, Helvetica World supports Arabic, Cyrillic, Greek, Hebrew, and Vietnamese scripts. The family consists of 4 fonts in 2 weights and 1 width, with complementary italics. The Arabic glyphs were based on a redesigned Yakout font family from Linotype. Latin kerning and spacing were redesigned to have consistent spacing. John Hudson of Tiro Typeworks designed the Hebrew glyphs for the font family, as well as the Cyrillic and Greek letters. Ne Haskroetsk. Ne Haskroetsk is the most recent digitization of Helvetica's precursor, completed by type designer Christian Schwartz in 2004. This project, which he referred to as a restoration, was completed in 2010. The updated design includes a version optimized for on-screen display, as well as a style for printed text, both of which preserve the original essence of the typeface. Improved features include corrected obliques, tabular figures, stylistic updates, and an extended character set. Ne Helvetica Etext, it is a version of Ne Helvetica optimized for on-screen use, designed by Akira Kobayashi of the Monotype Imaging. The family includes 8 fonts in 4 weights and 1 width, with complementary italics. OpenType features include numerators, denominators, fractions, ligatures, scientific inferiors, subscript, superscript. Similar typefaces. Generic versions of Helvetica have been made by various vendors, including Monotype Imaging, Paratype, Bitstream, URW++, and Ray Larrabee. Monotype's Arial, designed in 1982, while different from Helvetica in some few details, has identical character widths, and is indistinguishable by most non-specialists. The characters C, G, R, Q, 1, A, E, R, and T are useful for quickly distinguishing Arial and Helvetica. Differences include, Helvetica's strokes are typically cut either horizontally or vertically. This is especially visible in the T, R, F, and C. Arial employs slanted stroke cuts. Helvetica's G has a well-defined spur. Arial does not. The tail of Helvetica's R is more upright, whereas Arial's R is more diagonal. The number 1 of Helvetica has a square angle underneath the upper spur, Arial has a curve. The Q glyph in Helvetica has a straight cross mark, while the cross mark in Arial has a slight snake-like curve. 2 typefaces with features intermediate between Arial and Helvetica are Arimo and Roboto, both of which are available as web fonts. Arimo is a Croscored font family and is metrically compatible with Arial. Roboto was developed by Google for version 4 of its Android operating system. HELV, later known as Sans-serif, is a sans-serif typeface that shares many key characteristics to Helvetica, including the horizontally and vertically aligned stroke terminators and more uniform stroke widths within a glyph. Usage. Helvetica is among the most widely used sans-serif typefaces. Versions exist for many alphabets and scripts. Helvetica is a popular choice for commercial word marks. Media coverage. In 2007, Linotype GmbH held the Helvetica Now poster contest to celebrate the 50th anniversary of the typeface. Winners were announced in January 2008 issue of the Lino letter. In 2007, director Gary Hustwit released a documentary film, Helvetica, to coincide with the 50th anniversary of the typeface. In the film, graphic designer Win Crawwell said, "Helvetica was a real step from the 19th century typeface. We were impressed by that because it was more neutral, and neutralism was a word that we loved. It should be neutral. It shouldn't have a meaning in itself. The meaning is in the content of the text and not in the typeface." The documentary also presented other designers who associated Helvetica with authority and corporate dominance, and whose rebellion from Helvetica's ubiquity created new styles. From April 2007 to March 2008, the Museum of Modern Art in New York City displayed an exhibit called 50 Years of Helvetica, which celebrated the many uses of the typeface. In 2011 the Disney Hub Barcelona displayed an exhibit called Helvetica. A New Typeface? The exhibition included a timeline of Helvetica Euro unregistered trademark consolidation over the last 50 years with a view to understanding its role in the history of design, as well as its antecedents and its subsequent influence. The itinerary started out with a selection of local works, highlighting the top-quality design of current and past creations whose common denominator is their use of Helvetica. In 2011, one of Google's April Fool's Day jokes centered around the use of Helvetica. If a user attempted to search for the term Helvetica using the search engine, the results would be displayed in the font Comic Sans. Notes. References: Lawrence W. Wallace. Modern Encyclopedia of Typefaces 1960-90. Lund Humphreys Publishers Limited, 2000. ISBN 0-85331-567-1. Marwan Courtelaire, Lars. Molsey, Victor. Langer, Axel. Kupferschmidt, Indra, Helvetica Forever. Story of a Typeface. Lars Marwan Courtelaire Publishers 2007. ISBN 978-3-03778-121-0. 1. External links, Tipapile Tipawaki, Helvetica, to Helvetica and back a Euro 77 years, Helvetica site for independent lens on PBS, linotype.com, Helvetica typeface family overview and related information, Helvetica documentary site, all about Helvetica font, Arial versus Helvetica, MoMA exhibition, 50 Years of Helvetica, Helvetica at 50 AA Euro BBC News article, The Helvetica Hegemony, How an Unassuming Font Took Over the World A Euro article in Slate, published May 25, 2007. Helvetica, The Little Typeface That Leaves a Big Mark A Euro Herald Tribune article on the 50 Years of Helvetica, photo of Helvetica wallpaper, alternatives to Helvetica at fontfeed.com and typefacts.com, Helvetica, Old and Nay, a lecture on Helvetica by Experimental Jet Set on occasion of the Malady of Writing exhibition at the MACBA, Barcelona, Helvetica Forever, the Helvetica Story and Complete Collection,